Hey, what's going on? Oh boy, gotta move this out of the way over here. All right, there we go. Just want to jump on and talk about this lens right here. Okay, right here, the Canon RF 70-200 2.8, right here. I really hesitated getting this lens, and so I want to just jump on for a couple minutes and kind of just let you guys know what I regret. I regret not getting this lens sooner. I've had other photographers that shot with not just the RF, actually other 70-200s, you know, whether it be Nikon or Sony. They shot with 70-200s, and this is mainly for like outdoor portraits. Again, I live in California, so a lot of my work is either out at the beach, out in the desert, out in sand, whether it's Joshua Tree Beach, Barriga Springs. So, you know, I use an 85 typically is what I did before this. I would use, when I was on my Sony kit, I used an 85 1.8. I've also used the Sigma, the 85 1.4, both amazing lenses. I actually have a video, maybe I'll go ahead and link up for the 85 1.8. That to me is like one of the best 85s you can get for the money. I don't like to have two bodies. I know, I think if you shoot with two bodies, then sticking with the prime, so that way you get the maximum, the quickest lenses you can get, and boom, you slap on whether it's a 25-85 or 35-85 or 75, whatever your two kind of lenses that you want to have, and boom, you have it on each body, whether it's a harness or you put it in a sling and you swap them out without having to do any lens changes. That's a great system. For me personally, that doesn't work for me. So if you're like me and you prefer to have one body, I'll have a spare if need be, especially if it's a big commercial job. But as my primary, I like to be working with one body. I don't know, for me, it's just easier. It's just easier with settings, and even if it's the same body, which I did have, it's too much. It's too much hassle to kind of, for me, I just didn't like it because I had to go ahead and make sure all the batteries are charged, make sure it's like double the memory cards you have to check on, double the batteries. I just prefer to have one body and then a backup in the few occasions or the odd occasion that I've needed it. This 70-200, it's just so easy. I feel that I still can get that really great separation at 85. Plus, I can also take this thing to 105 or even 135 on those odd few occasions that I'll actually go that telephoto. I'll go ahead and bring this with a 50 or now with a 28-70, and that's it. To me, the advantage is I don't have to keep swapping out lenses when I'm at the shoot. It's either this or the 28-70. And for the most part, if it's a portrait session, I'm using this thing a lot more. If I'm at the beach, I'll go ahead and break out to 28-70 because I want to get more of that environment. I mean, you're shooting at the beach because you want to see the beach, you want the environment in the shot. This thing though, if I'm at a park or outdoors or in studio, I'm using this thing most of the time, and it's so great. I don't have to worry about it. I can go ahead and be as creative as I want to be without having to worry about ruining the flow or disrupting the flow of the shoot, especially if we're really jamming and really getting some great shots, and you don't have to like stop the shoot to go ahead and do a change. I've got from 70-200 right here, and so that's pretty nice. And then when I do want to swap out lenses, well, it kind of works out well because at that point, if you're swapping out, it's usually in a natural break in a shoot. But why I also like this Canon RF 70-200, I like this lens because of how compact it is. Okay, it is so freaking compact, and as I'm talking, I'm just double checking. I've had this thing for about a year now. I love this, and I'm talking to you and I'm just double checking because I haven't looked at it for a while. I've used this at the beach, I've used this at the desert, and I can't even tell you how many shoots I've done at the beach. Again, I'm careful about things. I'm not gonna go ahead and lay this thing down on the sand when it's like fully extended, and I'll go ahead and make sure I clean stuff out. I haven't noticed any particles or anything inside this barrel. Okay. I have had no problems with this thing, and I have had those issues with other third-party Tamron and Sigma lenses, and I know it doesn't affect your image. I just don't like it. I just don't like it. I just don't like seeing it in there, because then I question how long is this lens going to actually last. If I have it for a couple months, I'm already seeing dust particles in there. This thing is really, really nicely sealed. How it's going to work down the line, I don't know, but it's definitely done better than some other third-party zooms that were external as well. So that's that. As far as the sharpness, is it as super sharp? Yeah, at this point, at the time I'm recording this, there are some talks about a new RF 7200 version 2 that's all going to be internally zooming for people that are really kind of pushing this thing and shooting sports maybe, and like, you know, monsoons or anything like that. I don't need that kind of weather sealing, even for sand, dirt. Again, I'm not shooting in a dust storm. I'm not going out of my way to roll this thing around in sand. And I haven't had any issues whatsoever. I'm really happy with it. And then another thing is people talking about that it's not as sharp. This is as sharp as I want it to be. I'm not gonna go ahead and do like a testing against like one of those like focus charts or anything like that. I don't have it. I don't have the patience for it. I watch other people that do those, but so that way I know I'm getting into. I'm just telling you real world example, my personal experience. This thing is sharp as sharp can be. And again, I'll go ahead and try and throw some really, really tight shots and kind of zoom in on the eye that I've done with these, and I'm really happy with it. I mean, to the point where I'm seeing my own reflection in their eye when I'm shooting with this thing. That's as sharp as I need. I love the way the focus kind of drops off on this lens too. I don't know what it is, but it's a really, really nice look. So overall, really happy with this lens. It's really expensive. One of the main reasons why I just went back and forth about it. If you want a nice portrait lens, you're debating about 85, you are a one camera body shooter, meaning you prefer to just have one body that you're working with while you're shooting, I highly recommend this lens. One of the things that pushed me over the edge to get this lens is because I ended up doing a lot more sports for my son for his water polo team. And so that kind of pushed me over the edge and kind of justified, let me just get this because I'm going to really be using it day in and day out for that. And for water polo and swimming, this is the perfect focal length. I don't need to go any farther really than 200. So for me, this is perfect. Plus I've got the stabilization in here too for taking video clips, and that has worked out amazingly well. So that's that. If you're thinking about it, I say do it. I say do it. If you're on the fence, maybe get it used or refurbished from Canon. I mean, that's probably the best way to get things. Get it refurbished from Canon. You know you're getting top quality product, and then they back it for I think another year. Don't quote me on that, but if you can, that's the best way to get it. Or if there's sales that kind of popped up. So yeah, love this lens. It is definitely probably most used lens, and I regret not getting this thing sooner. I really, really do. I love it. I love this lens. Probably one of the main reasons why I actually switched over to, well, not one of the main reasons, but probably one of the reasons that kind of pushed me and got me going into the Canon system is because I love how compact this thing is, and still 2.8. To me, it's about how it fits in the bag and how I'm packing it. And this thing is so freaking tiny and so great. I love it. So, all right, I'll stop raving about this thing. All right, peace.